Welcome to CarePod, a safe place to educate, inspire, and renew the caregiver. Listen in with our host, Dr. Kipley Bell, as she interviews different experts along the caregiving journey.
So I am excited to have a good conversation today with Kyle Smith, Neuro Linguistic Somatic Consultant. So welcome to the CarePod. Break that down for us. And thank you for being here with me.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I title myself as a clarity consultant, and what I help folks do is unclutter the mind, celebrate their wins, and pursue goals that inspire them, that they want to pursue. And in doing that, I've developed a practice that I call NLSE, Neuro Linguistic Somatic Experience, and that I use. And that broken down, starting with neuro, that's meaning of the mind, and specifically mindset. And folks often know that mindset is important. Everyone wants to pursue a healthier mindset. I'm working on my mindset. However, I believe that when we don't have a practical definition of what mindset is, that makes pursuing what we want ambiguous. It's not clear. We don't have a reference point. So I define mindset as the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves or our opinion of ourselves. So we can have a higher mindset or a lower mindset, a higher opinion of ourselves or a lower opinion of ourselves, and we can influence our mindset to move in a direction that we want it to, rather than a place that's there to harm us. It's there to help us. So that's breaking down the neuro, the mind. And then from there, we go into linguistics, and that's language. And that's what we say, what we think, what we write, and how we breathe, because the breath is the language of the body. And so going into the first three, I look at words and the stories we tell ourselves and about other things to be the ethereal macronutrients of the mind. If we feed our mind quality words, we're going to have quality thoughts. If we feed our mind shit words, we're going to have shit thoughts. Right? And so we can influence the quality of the words that we're feeding our mind, similar to how the body is built up of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Those are the building blocks of the body. The quality of the food is going to impact the quality of the body. Same thing with our mind. How the breath ties into it: when we're breathing high and tight, we're good to fight. When we're breathing low and slow, we're good to flow. And
Oh, I
so
love
we know
that.
that.
Breathing low and slow, we're good to flow. Love
Yeah.
that.
And
Love that.
it just makes for a good vibe. So you get to be present, because when we're up here, we're holding our breath high and tight in the chest. Oftentimes our shoulders are rolled forwards, and we're just giving ourselves the opportunity to panic for no reason, to be prepared to fight when there's no evidence to us needing to work ourselves up that much. So we can open up the chest, we can down regulate the breath. We can also use it in times where, let's say we go into a room and it's all good in there. We're surrounded by people that we know. We're in a solid set and setting, and we feel a little wound up. So we can look around and remind our body, hey, we're actually good here. We're safe here. Big breath in, let it out, go back into the flow.
Yeah.
And so when we're just simply paying attention to how we're breathing, am I breathing low and slow? Am I breathing high and tight? Then at least we can listen to what our body is trying to tell us at that point, whether it makes sense or not. It can do either or. It could be a bear is chasing me. This makes sense. Or it could be I'm hanging out at home and I'm just reminiscing on stories that are not helpful. And so then that ties into somatic aspects. So that's of the body. And that's where we get the breath work integrated. Because for all my sessions, it's the whole practice is a combination of two methods known as breath work and story work. So I combine those two to create a whole session. So it starts with breath work, and that's to down regulate or up regulate the individual. I want them to be at level, not too low, not too high, just right. And that way,
Mhm.
when we're going into stories, we can feel differences in how our words are impacting our emotions.
So
And
let me reel you back a bit. Let me
sure.
reel back a bit. Who is consulting you? Who is saying, listen, you know what? I need to reset. I need to be mindful of the words that I'm putting out, that I'm hearing, that is creating a negative mindset.
Mhm.
And I need to restore balance to my current situation. So, who is that? That's all of us, right? But
Yeah.
who are those people that are consulting you to kind of help create balance in their lives?
Okay, so when you say that, I had a thought because I have a frame where it's character construction, where there's the primary, which is who we're speaking to. I'm speaking to the primary voice, vice versa, and then there's two other voices, where it's the the angel and the devil
And the
voice,
devil, right?
the inner rival, the inner role model. And
Oh, I
I'll
love
go.
that.
So I'll go with two ways to answer this question if you're cool with it. I'll go from an internal environment and then an external environment. That way we get a double whammy. So with the role model and the rival, the primary is the judge between the prosecutor and the defendant. So if we wake up in the morning and our prosecutor, who is our inner rival, stacks up pages and pages of evidence that is showing us or is telling us or he's trying to make the case that we are not who we say we are, that's the person that's trying to keep us where we're at. Then you have the defendant, who is the inner role model, is the person that you wish to become. It's the person that you want to develop into. And that person comes in, once again, shows a stack of evidence saying that you are who you say you are. And as the primary, as the judge of these two inner, between this inner conflict, it's the person that we as the judge can choose who has presented the better case. When we're looking at the role model rather than the rival, we're feeding them decisions because we're going to decide in alignment with the person that we want to be, and we're going to make decisions to not be that other person. And a cool thing is, the word decide in Latin is decadere, and translated that means to kill off. So we're killing off one decision in order to move into another decision. And that decision accumulates, those decisions accumulate to either us maintaining the rival or embodying the role model. So when you ask that, who do I consult? I can consult myself in a three-way frame so that I have better reference points. I have more objectivity. I'm not believing the words that I'm hearing. I'm actually observing them. And from an
You're making
outside
better
perspective,
choices as a result. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
totally,
I get that.
totally.
I get that. But in terms of putting yourself out there to a greater audience and the greater need for this restorative balance, how does that, what does that look like?
If it's one to one or one to many, both of them are the same process where we begin with breath work. And this is to settle ourselves into just where we are and just to down regulate, take a moment for ourselves. That's where we can really bring ourselves to ourselves. And that could be whatever someone's beliefs about breathwork can be. One thing it does for certain is that it brings us into this moment. So I like to start a session where we're down regulating, and no matter what the stories were that we went in afterwards, no matter how dark, no matter how much they hurt, haunt, taunt, annoyed, no matter how much celebration and abundance, 100% of people have enjoyed the breath work. Because it
Yes,
just
breath
feels so
work is
good.
amazing. It's
It's an
amazing.
immediate pivot and change. And
Yeah.
then after the breath work, I ask, do you want to go into anything that's either on or off the document? Because I work with just the document. We're literally on the same page. There's complete transparency with me and the participant, whoever I'm working with.
Mhm. So I ask all my guests their why. What brought you to this place of being centered unto yourself and helping others do the same?
Common denominator between where I was and where I am now was my development of better decision making, data driven decision making, and sincere decision making. I made those decisions in alignment with where I want to be because where I was, I did not have any self respect. I didn't have any self love. I did not, I made some really good decisions and then I made some not so good decisions. Now it's complete contrast where I understand that the decisions are what's going to bring me to where I want to experience, to the desired life experiences. So, my desire with this practice is to introduce a holistic frame that fits in with any other. It could go with therapy, it can go with sound bath, it can go with more breath work. I do cannabis connected sessions as well. So, it's cannabis connection, story work, breath work. And that's just to simply dive into. So it's using all these modalities, all
Reality.
these
Hmm.
tools to
Hmm.
really supercharge everything.
Hmm.
And my desire is to show folks that they can think about their thinking or introduce ways to think about their thinking where they recognize themselves as the sole authority in their responsibility and feeling damn good about it and stepping
Hmm.
into that and being
Their
sovereign
authentic
salvation.
themselves, their authentic self. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So, has there been any kind of elder spirit guide, if you will, in your own life, grandpa, grandmom, auntie, uh, older person that you can look back and have, positive memories that guide you in that restorative work that you do today?
Well, I started working when I was 15 and I started working in the restaurant industry. So I was still going to high school at that time. So the conversations were very different, very different. And I believe brought up in that area where people were so far ahead of me life wise or like biological life wise.
Hmm.
Uh, they I would say I was able to mature fairly quickly, given just that I was a workaholic and I loved being there.
The
So
wisdom,
I was
right?
just surrounded by all these folks that had these stories of all these places they've traveled to and all these interesting like things that they've done. And that I believe that would have, I believe that very well have spurred the idea of adventure and creating something and doing more.
Yes.
Attention healthcare professionals. Are you looking to enhance your skills and stay ahead in your field? Look no further than our ACCME accredited CME courses. Whether you're a doctor, physician assistant, or nurse practitioner, our courses are tailored to meet your needs. Why focus on geriatric education, you ask? Because regardless of your specialty, geriatric care is becoming increasingly essential. As our population ages, the demand for competent healthcare professionals in geriatrics is higher than ever before. We don't stop there. Our courses also empower caregivers to partner with you in the care of your patients. We believe that by fostering a strong partnership between healthcare clinicians and caregivers, we can provide the best possible care for our elderly population. So join our impactful caregiving community today. Sign up for our ACCME accredited course instruction and take the first step towards advancing your career and making a difference in the lives of your patients.
So, how does one find you? Do you
I'm
have a
easy.
website? What's your, remote offerings, etc.? Tell us about that.
So I'm pretty easy to find on any social platform. It's a Dapper Dude Kyle, DAPPERDUDEKY.
Love it. So,
And
dapperdude.com.
oh, it's not it's Dapper Dude Kyle is my social links.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dapper Dude Kyle. Okay.
Dapper Dude Kyle is my social links, and then there you'll be able to find any websites. The website link that I have right now is a longer one. I'm gonna get it shortened. However, you can still find it anywhere that you see me there.
Okay. And so, do persons, they can schedule a one-on-one consultation with you,
Absolutely.
and then what do you do? Weekly offerings, group
It depends.
sessions? What do you do
So
from a personal standpoint to a corporate, more group offering? Tell
oh,
us about
sweet. Yeah, that's a good flow. I like that. So from a personal individual one, totally can book a 30 to 45-minute call. Find me anywhere on any of those sites. If you shoot me a DM, I'm real like a direct message. I'm really quick with getting back to those. So that's the fastest way to reach me. And during this 30 to 45-minute call, we're just going to see how we vibe. We're going to see if I can support you in your journey and then be able to take us away from there. And then from there, go into our sessions, and then we hit the things that you want to address. Whatever the goal is, we're going to explore stories that are prohibiting or creating resistance towards progressing. Uh, and then we can go into celebrating the wins. So we can go into getting unstuck, then we can